Wait, Lex Luthor is a father? We gotta talk about this. What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Cave Chronicles, where we talk about in depth each episode of Young Justice Season 1 series as we watch it. And currently we are on episode 22. We actually just finished episode 22, and we got to talk about the biggest plot point of this entire episode: Superboy's solo venture back to Cadmus. But not only his solo venture, the fact of everything that was revealed in this episode that once again proves to be another massive bombshell that the show just drops on you. So we're going to talk about this piece by piece, and I'm going to try to make this episode as short as possible because I got to get back to watching episode 23 and finishing the rest of season 1. So when Superboy goes to Cadmus, he finds out a number of important information, right? We find out that there's an entire civilization underneath Cadmus, which is already underneath the surface of the earth, and this entire civilization is basically built on free will. And Superboy, for some reason in this episode, doesn't seem to understand that the Superboy, because there's another Superboy. We find out that there's another Superboy, and he is made from pure Kryptonian DNA. But this is where things get interesting. We also find out that Superboy, the reason that he can't fly is because he is made from half human DNA. This is where it gets even more interesting. We find out that the half human DNA that created Superboy actually came from Lex Luthor, meaning that Lex Luthor is actually technically Superboy's father, which is very confusing. I guess Superboy actually has two dads. He has Lex Luthor, who is his dad, and Superman, who is his dad. And I'm sure for those who know the relationship between Superman and Lex Luthor, that is very conflicting. And so, it's like, who's driving him to daycare? Who's picking him up from soccer? Anyway, this episode was actually kind of insane to even just put my head around. And once again, you find yourself in this position where you think that the show has given you as much as it possibly can give you in terms of twist and turns and plot points and big reveals, and then you're given another episode and you realize that everything that you thought you knew goes completely out the window. You're like, hey, you remember that level that we ascended to when it came to revealing that Megan is actually a white Martian who stowed herself away on John's ship, isn't actually technically his niece, and has actually been personified in the form of a TV kind of sitcom character also by the name of Megan, which is how she created her name and also gave the name to Connor. That episode was twisted. Throw all of that away. None of that matters. We're actually only focusing on a much bigger level, being the fact that, hey, Connor, him being named after his girlfriend's, kind of alter ego, persona, none of that is really important anymore. The fact that Lex Luthor is in fact your father, yeah, that's a situation that's gonna have you sitting across the way from Black Canary for a few sessions, because that's really gonna mess with your head. Now, the question I have is, what is Lex Luthor's end game? Obviously, this is something that he's known about for a long time, but in terms of creating theories, because you guys know I love to pass my theories on to you and just give you a sense of where my head is at on this whole situation and where I feel like the show could be and it possibly is progressing, right? And we like to get to these episodes and see whether or not I was completely off or I was right on the note. So when it comes to Lex Luthor, it's really hard to say exactly where I feel like the show is really pushing us, right? We know that he's a member of the Light, but we also know that when he worked with Red Arrow, it seemed like he may have also been, trying to help Red Arrow. Now, obviously, he was only trying to help Red Arrow for his own benefit, so that still technically makes him a bad guy. Plus, he's a member of the Light, which we know objectively from what we've seen, they're the bad guys as well. So by all accounts, by association, Lex Luthor, big bad. And so with it, when it comes to Connor, the question becomes, is he potentially portraying a soft side, or is he trying to play this whole father card, if he even is Connor's father, in an effort to manipulate him for the Light's grand scheme? Because if we look back to the early episodes of season 1, we do remember them saying that Superboy was going to be potentially a pinnacle part of this story, of their master grand plan. And so perhaps this could all be a part of that of that plan. Maybe they're playing on this and playing on the whole Superboy arc in an effort to turn them to his side and create some conflict. So that way, when it really comes down to it, when push comes to shove, Superboy will be conflicted about what to do and hopefully align himself with his quote-unquote father. And what's even more twisted about this, when you think about it, is the fact that ever since Superboy has come into the show, he has been vying and practically begging, without begging, for the love and affection, even just some sort of attention from Superman, who refuses to give him that. And now you have Lex Luthor, who seems to be already giving more than Superman has ever given to Superboy, which I feel like, you know, kind of pushes my theory in the direction that Superboy, when it comes down to it, may end up actually being another person that betrays the team because he aligns himself with Lex Luthor, the father that he wished he had. So I feel like there's a lot of complications that could potentially arise. And when we talk about the mole of the series, you know, we obviously talked about it potentially being Artemis, even though since that speculation, there's really been no proof that Artemis has actually disobeyed the team, you know, betrayed the team. And, you know, now Megan has this whole blackmailing situation. Now Superboy has family issues. He's got daddy issues out the wazoo. This guy's literally got two fathers, one that's like neglecting him, and then the other who's technically a bad guy, but also gives him a little pat on the back and says, hey, here you go, son, I'm here for you. You know, that could mess with anybody. And so, you know, when it comes to like someone betraying the team, because that's kind of been the thing that they've been pushing through this whole season, that somebody's betraying the team, I feel like it could potentially go the Superboy route. And Superboy, he may have good intentions, but he may accidentally put himself on the wrong side. But we'll see, right? Obviously, these are all just, you know, speculations. There's still a few episodes left, and again, I still find myself with many more questions than I started with. So, but this was a great episode, guys. Holy moly. I would say in terms of Superboy episodes, because he's a character that I feel like more than anybody on the Young Justice team, he's gotten more solo episodes than anyone, right? He got his episode with the heroes. He's had his moments where he's been and done things solo, which I mean, makes sense, right? He's been a kind of one of the most mysterious characters in the series. So it makes sense that he gets his kind of self-discovery episodes. But yeah, this was definitely the best one that they've done. I'd have to give this one at least a 9 flat. I mean, just from the reveal standpoint, right? The whole secret civilization, the whole reveal about Lex Luthor being his father, the fact that he's half human. I mean, that's enough that'll make anybody kind of like, wow, this is heavy. So I'm curious how that's going to affect Connor going into the last couple episodes, what that's going to do to him mentally, because I feel like he was kind of coming into his own, learning more about himself, and now that all kind of went out the window, and now he's back to square one, not really knowing exactly what to do. So it'll be interesting to see exactly what happens next, and I'm excited either way. And now for another segment of Sidekick Sessions, where I read your comments in the previous recap video. These comments coming specifically from our episode 21 recap, where we talk about all of the mystery stuff involving Megan. One of the comments comes from Gibbs615 that says, now you've seen Miss Martian's true self. She may truly look like that on the outside, but on the inside, she really is the Megan form she adopted. She needs to just show them already, especially since Queen Bee is now blackmailing her. And to that, I actually agree. With the whole situation revolving blackmail, one of the best things that you can do, I feel like, for shows when we see characters get blackmailed, is just get ahead of it. Just get ahead of it, take control, you know, take it on the chin, and yeah, they'll be surprised. They may not even trust you for a little bit, but it's so much better than if Queen Bee actually comes out and outs her as being a white Martian. That would be way worse. So I'm excited to see over the next couple episodes, which I feel like that's probably what's going to happen, in my opinion, you know, this coming from someone that's never seen the show. But in my opinion, I feel like it's probably going to go that route where Queen Bee is going to out Miss Martian, and that's going to instill some distrust amongst those that are on the team in Miss Martian, knowing that she went all this time and never told them who she really was. So we'll see how it goes. Another comment comes from Joseph Perez that says, are you going to watch/react to the other 3 seasons after season 1? Keep up the great work, man. Thank you so much, Joseph. And as far as like reacting and talking about the next 3 seasons, I think I will continue on. I like this show enough to continue, and I personally want to see it through. Now, I've heard things about the last 2 seasons. I heard after season 2 the show really kind of falls off, but I think that's more than enough reason for me to watch it. I need to know for myself, just how far does this show fall from grace? If it even does. Now, obviously everyone's entitled to their opinion, and you know, I'm sure there's some people that really didn't like the last 2 seasons for whatever reason. I always like to go in and make my own decisions about things, and if the show isn't good in the last 2 seasons, then I will make that decision for myself for my own reasons. And so with that, I think I'm going to continue on after season 1, so you guys don't have to worry. We will be on the Young Justice train for a while, and I hope you guys are okay with that. If you are, let me know in the comment section if you want to see more Young Justice episodes, if you want to see more reactions to the entire series, because you know, I don't want to just stop because the show, you know, when the show's good, right? I don't want to stop after season 2 where the show's good. I would like to continue on and you know, even through the show's bad points, and find out for myself why they're quote unquote bad. And that is all for this segment of Sidekick Sessions. I hope you guys enjoy, you know, the comments. I enjoy reading them, and it's always nice to pick out comments that I think really stand out, and you know, ones that I really resonate with, and be able to, you know, answer those right here. And it's kind of, you know, hopefully that's something you guys enjoy. If it is or isn't, let me know. Should I keep doing these? Should I stop doing them? I don't know. I do them because I think that you guys like them, but you know, I enjoy reading your comments, and you know, it definitely brings a lot of joy to me. So thank you so much for the guys and gals that take the time to comment on the videos and continuing to engage with me and my content. Really means a lot. It's really the main reason I watch this show, is to have conversations about them, the characters, the show, and all that stuff. So it really does mean a lot. And that's all for me, guys. I hope that you enjoyed episode 22's breakdown. I really just wanted to focus on the biggest points that really stood out to me, that being the relationship between Connor and Lex Luthor, the reveal that Lex Luthor is technically possibly the donor that created the human half of Superboy, and exactly what that's going to mean and do to Superboy mentally going into the next few episodes. So just again, something else to look out for. And as this season has progressed through season 1, the stakes continue to get higher and higher. We've got this whole drama with Megan. We've still got a mole that apparently is on the team, right? We've got Superboy, who now has this big secret as well. And I don't think these secrets are just going to easily be exposed or disclosed to the rest of the team. So I'm really interested to see how exactly all of this information gets relayed to the rest of the team, and exactly how they go about reacting to it. But that is something we're going to have to find out. I am on my way out. I'm going to go watch episode 23 because I really need to know what happens next. I hope you guys enjoyed the content. If you did, dropping a like on this video greatly helps out the channel. It means so much to me. Comment down below what you thought of this video. Comment down below, should I continue on with the rest of the series, or should I just stop after season 2? Your opinions and your feedback really mean a lot, and yeah, they're definitely going to be a decision maker when it comes to whether or not I continue with this series after season 2. And can subscribe if you're new here, guys. If you're new here and you you know, if you just found the channel for whatever reason, you want to watch full episodes to my Patreon, or full episodes of Young Justice, you can check out my Patreon. Link to that will be in the bio. And yeah, we would love to have you here as well. We're currently watching series like Arcane here on the channel, so be on the lookout for that as well. It's actually pretty good. That's all for me, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next episode.
Oh, that's hot. That's hot.